So explain this to me. How can something be unmoving and moving at the same time? My brain does somersaults every time I try.
Only in the Upanishads, right? Shloka 5 really goes hard on those head-spinning contradictions, especially when Advaita and Dvaita start arguing about it.
Balor, hang tight for us. We'll grab our texts and notes and get the episode set up.
So, last time we looked at Shloka 4, we touched on this idea of the divine being unmoving yet swifter than the mind. It was our first real taste of paradox in the Isopanishad.
Right, that idea that it can't be caught because it's already there. That one definitely stretched my brain.
Well, get ready, because Shloka 5 takes that concept and just doubles down. It's a fire hose of paradox. And today, our goal is to understand why.
Okay, so not just what the paradox is, but the purpose behind it.
Exactly, because how you interpret these contradictions leads to two vastly different spiritual paths. By the end of this, you'll see how one verse can launch two whole schools of philosophy, Advaita and Dvaita, and what that means for a seeker trying to walk the path. Let's start with the verse itself. It goes, Tad ejati, tad nai ejati, tad dure, tad antike, tad antar asya sarvasya, tadu sarvasya sasya bahyata.
It sounds very balanced, very symmetrical.
It is, and the translation reflects that. It moves and it moves not. It is far and it is near. It is within all this and it is outside of all this. You see? 3 impossible pairs.
Moves and not moves, far and near, inside and outside. Yeah, my logical mind immediately flags those as, well, as contradictions. Something can't be both at the same time.
And that's the genius of it. The Upanishadic rishis, the sages, they aren't being sloppy with their language. This isn't just pretty poetry. They are using language to intentionally break the tool we rely on most, our rational mind, to point to something that tool can't grasp.
So it's a feature, not a bug. The confusion is the point?
Precisely. Think of it like this. If I describe water to someone who has never seen it, I can say, it's yielding, but it can break rock. It has no shape, but it can fill any shape. Those sound contradictory, but they point to the true nature of water. This is that, but on a cosmic scale. Let's try a little exercise. Just a thought experiment. Pick one of the pairs. How about it is far and it is near?
Okay, I can do that.
Now, close your eyes if you're able, and try to hold both concepts in your mind at once. Don't try to solve it. Just hold the idea of something being infinitely distant, like the farthest galaxy, and at the same time, closer to you than your own breath. What happens in your mind when you try that?
It's like my mind is a strobe light. It flashes between the two. First, I picture deep space. Then I picture the feeling of my own heartbeat. It can't merge them. It just jumps back and forth, trying to land on one.
That's it. That's the mental friction the verse is designed to create. Your mind wants to resolve the tension, to pick a side. Is it A or is it B? And the Upanishad says, yes.
So that feeling of the mind short-circuiting is actually the beginning of understanding?
It's the doorway. Because in that moment of failure, the rational mind has to admit its limits. And once it gets quiet, another kind of understanding can arise. This is where the great philosophical traditions begin their debate. Okay, so you're at this doorway. Your logical mind is stalled. Two great teachers, Shankara and Madhvacharya, walk up and offer two completely different explanations for what's happening.
And these are the founders of Advaita and Dvaita, right?
Correct. Let's start with Shankara and his Advaita, or non-dualism. He would say the contradiction isn't actually closer.
When it says it's far, that's how it appears to the ignorant mind that thinks it's separate from the universe. It moves describes its appearance in the world of action and change, but its true nature moves not. It is the motionless screen on which the movie of reality plays.
Ah, okay. So for Advaita, the path is to realize that I am that screen, not just one of the characters in the movie. The paradox is a tool to help me see that.
Exactly. Now, Madhvacharya and his Dvaita, or dualism, comes along and says, not so fast. He argues the distinction is very real, and it's eternal. You are you, and God is God. They are never the same.
Then how does he explain the paradox? If God is a separate being, how can he be both moving and not moving?
Through what he calls Achintya Shakti, inconceivable power. For Madhva, the verse isn't a riddle to dissolve your ego. It's a statement of fact about the awesome, limitless power of a personal God. He can be far away in his divine abode and simultaneously be right here, within everything, because his power is not bound by our logic. The paradox inspires awe and devotion, not intellectual dissolution.
Wow. So two completely different takeaways. One says, realize you are it. The other says, surrender to it, for it is mighty. That's a huge split.
It's the fundamental fork in the road for many seekers. Is the goal union or communion? This one verse contains the seeds of both paths. Now, a common challenge for anyone encountering this verse is the feeling that it's just, well, nonsense. The rational mind wants to dismiss it.
Yeah, my brain is still trying to solve it. It feels like a riddle that must have a clever answer, not just it's a mystery.
And that's the trap. The solution is to reframe the purpose. It's not a question demanding a verbal answer. It's a contemplative tool. The words are a finger pointing at the moon. The Advaitin would say, don't get obsessed with the finger. Look at the moon. The language is meant to be transcended, not analyzed to death.
Okay, that helps. But then the other obvious question comes up. Which path is right? Is it Advaita or Dvaita?
That's probably the biggest question in all of Vedanta philosophy. The answer is, they are different paths for different temperaments. The Dvaita path of devotion, or Bhakti Yoga, resonates with those who feel a deep personal connection to the divine. The love between devotee and God is the whole point.
And Advaita.
Advaita's path of knowledge, Jnana Yoga, is for the philosophical inquirer, the person who wants to dissect reality and see the truth for themselves through radical self-inquiry. The verse doesn't pick a side. It simply presents a reality so profound that it can give birth to both interpretations. The right path is the one that actually helps the seeker progress. So let's bring this all together. Shloka 5 presents us with a series of powerful paradoxes: moving, motionless, near, far, within, without.
And it does this to show us the limits of our own minds.
Exactly. From that point of intellectual surrender, two major paths emerge. The Advaita path says these paradoxes are clues to realizing your non-dual identity with the ultimate reality, Brahman.
And the Dvaita path says the paradoxes reveal the inconceivable power of a personal God, inspiring us to devotion and surrender.
You've got it. So, for your practice this week, here's a simple, actionable step. Choose one of the three pairs from the verse. Maybe it is within all this, and it is outside of all this.
Okay, the within and without paradox.
Yes. And whenever you have a quiet moment, maybe waiting in line or just before sleep, gently bring that phrase to mind. Don't wrestle with it, just hold it. Notice the tension it creates. Notice what it feels like to contemplate something that is both the container and the contained. That's it. That's the practice. Let the verse do its work on you.